6 minutes ago. 10 minutes ago, Dad was in the back room. Okay. Hi, everybody. Sorry. Had to get my signal fixed. Hello, hello. Welcome to our neck of the woods. I was trying to say hello and welcome earlier. I have a terrible signal today, so you guys will have to let me know if I sound R2-D2 or not. But hello and welcome. So who got to see any of the eclipse last night? I did. The cats wanted in and out all night. Love those little guys. Hi, Anna. So I got to see part of the eclipse, and I'm out there, and it was probably about 2/3 of the way. Hey, Robert. About 2/3 of the way over the moon, and all of a sudden I hear crunch, 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 crunch. It's not very far from me, and I'm moon gazing, so I didn't even think about looking around. And I look over, and about 20 feet in front of me is the biggest buck I have seen. And he was directly underneath the moon, and he was just standing right there 20 feet from me on the back hill, just walking along, moseying along, minding his own business. And he wasn't scared that I was out there at all. So that was really cool. That was a great night. Oh, love pugs. I'm sorry to hear that. We had a lot of clouds, but the first time I've ever been able to actually see a lunar eclipse. Because every time, in Ohio, every time there's cloud cover. So last night was the first time I was actually seeing it. It was like the clouds were just beautiful. Hey, Brian, good to see you. Oh, yeah? When did it turn red? At what point? I know, love. It's rough. Oh, I feel so much more peaceful today. So, how is everybody doing today? I can't tell if anything's posting or not. I'm sorry, you guys. We're working off an alternative signal. Oh, yeah, Brian, I wasn't up that late. I tried not to be up as late as I was up. However, those things do happen. So, yeah, you guys see I've got a different angle here. So this room right here, that's our bedroom that Jeff has been working on so diligently and finishing up. And we're super excited. Yes, I did hear the verdict, and I'm very pleased for that young man that I'm very sad that he had to go through any of that in the first place. I really am. But I am very pleased that that the jury did not let all the stuff cloud their judgment. So, but I really still pray for that kid, okay? Because you don't know what you don't know about the traumas in his mind and his heart that he's had to suffer knowing that he took a life, okay? And he is a kid. And so just keep praying for that kid. Keep him lifted up in your prayers, and his family as well, because they're going to have a rough go of it. And he's not going to have an easy time getting back into society because it was a nationwide case. So just keep that kid lifted up. Kyle Rittenhouse, keep him lifted up in your prayers. Because he's the seemingly toughest part might be over, and he might be able to drop out of this public eye. But the really tough parts are still on the way for him. and I feel bad for him. So, and I was excited for him. Yes, I was. But there's a whole lot more stuff that he's going to have to deal with. So just keep him lifted up, and his family, because his family, they seem like they're very strong, and they're very, very loving, and they're very supportive of him. So they're going to have a lot to deal with too. So, yeah. Thank you, North Carolina girl. Exactly. Hey, Susan, welcome. Yeah, I think all of us were really happy with the outcome of that, but there are going to be things that haunt him about this the rest of his life if he doesn't get the proper help. So let's keep him lifted up that he does, that he gets the help that he needs to come to terms with the things that have happened to him. So I'm not going to lie to you, though. I didn't watch any of the trial because that kind of stuff is it triggers a little bit of my post-traumatic. And so I try not to invite that. I try not to open that door any more than I have to, except to sweep it out occasionally, right? But that's work I have to do on my own. There is no physical being, I think, that can help me through that. That is things that I have to work on my own. And I might be wrong. There may be, that person out there that is capable of helping, but a lot of that stuff is very personal that you have to work through. Hi, honey.
Good. All right. Good. All right.
That's me, I think.
There we go. Hold on. There. Back feed. Okay now?
Very good.
Okay.
I was showing off your handiwork.
My handiwork. I can't tell.
Your handiwork. The room that you can't see because I'm blocking it that way. This mirror image stuff is just terrible to deal with.
Yeah. Hey, Robert. All right, we'll be home here in a few minutes.
All right, honey. So anybody want to come up and chat? I really wanted to just tell you guys about my my experience there, because I thought that was really cool. I mean, literally, that's the biggest buck. We have a lot of deer around here, but that's the biggest buck I've seen in a long time. He was so close. I mean, he was 20 feet from me. He was just looking at me, and he just raised his head up and looked at me, and he's directly under the moon when I saw him. So, oh, right on. Well, thank you, Pugs. Yeah, so I think there's a lot of happenings going on in the world, huh? I did want to touch on that though, because that is quite literally a blessing for him and his family, and for a lot of people. There was maybe more wrapped up in that than most people realize. So, yeah, I agree. But that full moon lunar eclipse last night, boy, that was something spectacular. There have been several in my life of the lunar eclipses, but hardly any of them have been visible wherever I've been. Maybe, Brian. Maybe. Yeah, it was really cool. I got to tell you, the deer on this property do some really funny things, but they don't usually come very close to do them. But that big boy, I bet he's parked right out back of the house somewhere sleeping, because he was so close. And we don't bother them. We actually, when we get extra vegetables, or like the farms and stuff around here will give away free vegetables when they start going. Like, they're just enough that if you get something done with them right away. But we'll pick up those vegetables, and what we don't use, we'll throw out for the deer to eat through the winter. So, We like to do that. Yeah, and their coats are so dark this year. The deer around here are darn near black already. That's how dark their coats are. They are such a wood brown that it's almost black. And the darker the coat on a deer in our area, the harder the winter is going to be. So we already know that it's going to, it's going to be a good winter, right? I just hope we don't lose any more trees this year. So we had several trees that didn't wake back up in the spring this past year. It made me very sad. I don't like that. But some of them are rather old. And in the last, I want to say, 5 or 6 years, there have been tent caterpillar invasions like every other summer. It's a cycle. And they get where they're along the highway. The trees along the highway that we live off of will be covered in their cocoons, in their little tents and stuff. And they're terrible for trees. They're terrible for all your trees. They don't even have a specific family of trees that they attack. They attack all of them. So, and you can go pick them all off by hand, or you can burn them. You can cut the branches and burn them. And that's the only way to really get rid of them that I know of, other than pesticides and stuff. And who wants to be killing trees with pesticides? Not me. That much is certain. We don't use chemical treatments on our plants here on our property. Any of our plants. So I don't know, Brian. I might try to paint that. That probably would be a pretty cool painting. So how is everybody else doing today? I'll reach back and grab my coffee. I got the convenience of the wood stove behind me to heat it. Yeah, anybody living in the cities, please be careful this weekend. Thank you, Garrett. I think that's probably well warranted in the time that we're in. Cheers, Robert. Hi, Crystal, Garrett, Anna, anybody I've missed, hello and welcome to you all. Like I said, I really just only had the story about the eclipse last night, and I might not have seen that because I was very tired when we left the campfire last night, and I thought, oh, I'll just go to sleep. And no sooner did I lay down than one cat wanted in and one cat wanted out. And then about 20 minutes later, one cat wanted in and one cat wanted out. I only have 2 cats. So they did this to me until about 3:30 in the morning. They were taking turns going in and out the door. They were being stinkers last night. But there's a male cat, and I think somebody probably dumped him in the woods because that seems to happen quite often around here. And so my boy Pillow, he's been chasing him off, and my girl Honeybun's been trying to make him a boyfriend. So, I don't know. I know it'll work itself out. He stays up at the big house a lot. He tries to stay under the shed. Pillow will go and chase him off the property, and then he'll come back around the other side. Come over here, and I caught Honeybun out there with him, and I'm like, hey, you gotta go, but you stay warm and safe. I don't want him. I don't want the fighting, because when you have indoor outdoor cats that aren't just indoor cats, they can be pretty territorial. So. And a lot of the wild cats around here are the cats that get dumped. Stray animals find their way to our property. Inevitably, sometimes they find their way on my porch. So, and I would love to take him in because he reminds me of a cat we used to have that mysteriously disappeared, named Peanut, who was Raina's cat. Uh, and he looks just like him. He really does. But he's a full-grown Tom, and my full-grown Tom doesn't want him around. And it's not worth losing one to gain one, you know? So that, and I don't want them to start spraying all over the place because I can't stand that smell. Come on now, you guys are leaving me up here just hanging and chatting about my cats. I'm gonna be the crazy cat lady. You guys don't care if I'm the crazy cat lady? Oh, yeah. I did that the other night when I saw him, and he wasn't about 10 feet from me, and I was like, I can't say it too loud because Raina's listening, and she'll get real sad. And I don't want her to be sad because she was down in the doldrums earlier. Hey, neighbor, how are you?
Hold on a minute. Hello.
Hi, I'm Lisa calling you from Delaware.
Well, hello,
Sorry,
Lisa from
another
Delaware.
block call. Can you hear me?
I can. Welcome, welcome.
Hey.
How are you doing today?
Doing good.
So you didn't get to see it. You were all cloudy up there last night, huh?
Every time there's something in the sky, I would say 99% of the time, it clouds over. And I went out there. I was out about 7. I'd say between 6 and 7:30.
Mm-hmm.
And the moon was huge and bright white. I'm like, oh, good. I'm going to get to see it. I go back out at midnight, cloud cover. I go back out at 1 a.m., cloud cover. 2 a.m., cloud cover. I gave up on bed.
Yeah, we had a lot of clouds, but it seemed like no matter where the moon moved in the sky, there was this circle around the moon where the clouds just didn't go. And you could see the clouds moving.
Wow.
It was cool. And that's never happened. I mean, I live in Ohio too, so I'm used to, there's going to be some, massive stellar event that I'm not going to be able to see because in Ohio, we always have clouds during stellar events.
Yep.
Hey, Crystal.
Hello, y'all.
Hey,
How are y'all
Crystal.
doing today?
Good. Hi, Full Monty.
Hey, Monty. Yeah, so
I'm going to jump down and come back in because I can barely hear you. And I think that's because of that stupid phone call.
all
So
right,
I'll be
hon.
right back.
Yep.
I was just on Monty's.
Oh yeah. See, the moon came up
Yeah.
over the hill last night. As it rose, it was red. It was that orange red. But then during the eclipse, it was still white. It was white here.
Much better.
All right.
Maybe the full.
Love Pugs is
Hi.
done too.
How you doing, Raina?
Good.
Hey, Raina. Hello.
There's that beautiful face.
I love Pugs.
I'm your neighbor from up northeast of you.
Yep. She lives up by Uncle Craig. She has an uncle that lives up around you.
That's cool.
Hi to the shop.
Small world. Hey, Tim, good to see you. Yeah, so was that you, Love Pugs, that was asking, did everybody's energy feel better today?
No. I
Well,
forget
whoever
who
had asked that. Is your energy feeling better today?
Yes.
A little less chaotic. Gotta love that.
I
Hey,
think it had a
Dad,
lot
Dad.
to do with. Sorry,
You're fine. Go ahead.
I think that. I think that had a lot to do with the full moon and the eclipse.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
Let's all be praying for Kyle and that city, that it has protection over it.
Sure thing. Hey, I'm gonna let you gals talk for 1 second, and then I'll unmute and be right back. So, give me 1 minute, okay?
I guess the full moon is the reason my animals were acting like they were crazy. My cats are playing grab butt, and my dog in there howling, and I don't.
My Marcus, he tried to hump everything that wasn't attached to something over the week. Now today he's fine. Oh man.
He worked all those bugs out of his system.
Oh God. My grandbaby was walking on the floor, and he come around and put his arms around her, and she's walking, and he's trying. And I'm like cracking up laughing. I'm like, Marcus, she's not a dog. She may be your height, but she's not a dog. Huh. Yes, I'm talking about you. Yes, I am.
My cats sleep up under me because I've got them in my bedroom and my dog's in the living room. And I used to have my cats out there, but he would run after them. And my poor female, male cat, he wanted to play with him and taunt him. My female, my female cat climbed on my table and wouldn't get off of it. Even we had food up there, so I brought them both in the bedroom. And my male cat, because I've got a sliding glass door going to my bedroom, will sit in front of that sliding glass door and taunt him.
Cats are good at taunting things.
He knows what he's doing.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome, Anna. Her
Yeah, I
little dog
wish I
Sage
could
is
do
good.
Oh.
Hey, Pappy. Hey, Robert.
What kind of dog is Sage?
Sage?
What kind of dog?
I don't know if she's a,
What kind of dog is Sage?
Chihuahua. I think she's a Chihuahua or maybe a Chiweenie. I'm not sure which.
I got my grand fur babies this weekend because my daughter and son-in-law and grandbaby went out of state for a wedding. Jasmine's a Chihuahua. Paisley's a purebred Shih Tzu, and my dog is a Brussels Griffon / Shih Tzu.
Wow. Teeny tiny little 4-pound Chihuahua.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Sage is. She's Chihuahua. She's adorable though. I don't have any puppies anymore. I lost my puppy in October.
Oh, yeah, Princess Jasmine. She's a purebred Chihuahua.
I lost my
I
I have a
puppy.
granddaughter
It
named
was-
Paisley.
That's cute. Paisley's a diva.
Yes, she is.
That's funny. They both are.
It is, isn't it? I think that's hilarious because everybody knows somebody that has a dog by the same name of somebody. Well, you think about it, right? When we had Raina, Jeff's mom didn't care for that name at all because she had a neighbor who once had a dog named Raina. And that's the only place she'd ever heard the name.
I've never heard of it until you guys. I guess it's just not popular up here.
It's really not a popular name. It's a really old name. It's the feminine version of Rainier, which is an old Celtic Germanic name.
Huh. I like it.
Yeah.
I
well,
like
and
it.
when I found it, I liked it too. And I said to Jeff, I said, I think this one, what do you think? And he was like, I don't know. And I picked her first name and he picked her middle name. And yep, that's our girl. And it means strength. It means strength.
Well, Paisley must mean diva.
I guess. Colorful personality.
Yeah, she's definitely colorful.
I've always liked Paisleys and plaids. It was funny when Raina was little. She would want to pick out something for mom to wear, and she'd bring me out because she knew I loved plaid. So she'd bring me out 2 different plaid things and tell me they went together because they were both plaid.
That's funny.
And I, being the dutiful
Gonna
mother
hear
that I am, would wear them just because, they're plaid. They go together.
Plaid's such a great thing.
Yeah, say you until mom buys you something plaid. And then you're like, oh, mom, you should get this in your size because you're the one that likes plaid.
Yeah,
I don't mind plaid, but just do not give me plaid bell bottoms. I had green and yellow plaid bell bottoms when I was in 1st grade. I hated them pants.
That's so funny. Oh,
my God, the things were ugly. Which
I wasn't allowed
I
to wear
never did like bell
pants
bottoms. I
anyways.
think they're ugly.
see, and I like them. I think that they're comfortable.
I
guess
did.
I've never really worn an authentic pair of bell bottoms, but I like the flare out at the bottom.
See, I don't. I like them close to my leg.
Mm.
More 80s
The only
style.
time I like my pants close to my leg is when I'm going out in the woods so the ticks can't crawl up there.
Right.
My sister one time was arguing with my mom about what she was gonna wear, and she said she didn't have nothing. So my mama went in there and got a Christmas shirt, and it wasn't even Christmas, and made her wear it to school.
I remember when I was a kid, I had this one red T-shirt with this, like, it was like a cat, a stylized cat made out of circles or something on it. And I had that shirt on for kindergarten pictures and for 1st grade pictures. I think I wore that shirt until I couldn't wear it anymore.
There's one time my sister wouldn't clean her room, and my mom went in there and she had it shoved up under the bed in the closet. My mama said, if you're gonna live that way, I'm gonna just put you in the laundry room and you can sleep in there with all the other nasty crap.
Well, hi, Jenny. Southern Wisconsin.
Jenny.
Right on. Well, welcome.
Yeah, I just my marine gut's telling me that what happened today, that there might be,
Well,
little thingies planned, but and then the Christian side of me says, oh no, it's gonna be fine.
it's really funny that you said that, Love Pugs, because we were hanging around the campfire at Bonnie's last night, and Pappy had asked us, what did we feel was coming? And we all gave answers according to basically what we think and what we think we know. and what, how we've seen things play out in the past. So basically experience, knowledge, and so we were all giving our answers according to that stuff. And I really had to think about that last night. And I had to just look for it, to find what was the answer. And I really do feel like we're heading into a bright, brilliant new tomorrow. But I feel like there's going to be a bit more turmoil before we get there.
Right.
And I feel that.
Right.
I don't want it, but I feel it. But I'm trying to keep the end goal in mind, because we're co-creators. So we can create the outcome we want, right?
Right.
Think about how many prayers that kid had, and look, even though he had to go through all that, it turned out, right? It turned out for him. So
He couldn't he collapsed. He didn't fall on the floor, but he collapsed, and the lady next to him caught him, and then the attorney helped, and he was just shaking. He just, you could see all of his emotions were coming out, and he was just like saying,
that's a lot for any person to hold up under. That's a lot of stress and pressure. And for someone that young, he really is to be commended for how he did hold up pretty darn good. And I mean, I just feel bad that he had to go through any of that experience to start with, honestly. And he was trying to do the right thing,
I'm just glad we had a constitutional judge and the jury did not take the threats and say that he was guilty, so they're not worried about getting messed with. And by the way, Glove Puck, thank you for your service, sweetie.
You're welcome.
We do appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
We tell Pappy that all the time. He just kind of like brushes us off a little bit. But I know he knows we mean.
Hey, Pappy. Hey, Pappy.
Hello, hello, hello. Nice to see all the smiling faces today. A nice energy about this time of the day. I'm experiencing hopefulness.
Yes.
The subject matter that you were just discussing. Everybody is putting their observations and their feelings as to what the conclusions are that the jury came to. Let's take a look at the larger picture of this in context of what's been happening over the last couple of years. And people have seen what's going on and how these sort of things happen because of an event that was not really connected. You see how that type of energy takes on a life of its own and can really get out of hand. And one of the things that I see as a hopeful glimmer is that people are starting to see that. They're starting to awaken to it, and they're starting to stand up in resistance to it. They're no longer saying, I'm not going to be intimidated by the threats. I'm not going to be intimidated by the in-the-face stuff. I'm my own person. I have my own thoughts, and I have my own space, and I'm willing to defend my own space. We have a right to be here. We have a right to defend our own space when we're attacked. And I think that a lot of people are starting to wake up now to say, look, we don't have to acquiesce to that which we know in our hearts is against what we know is right and wrong, So I do have some hope there, and I'm hoping that everybody that was here on Bonnie's chat last night around her campfire took their homework home and listened for the spirit answers to come in as to what's going to be going on here in the coming months and years and days and minutes and the time. Yeah, that's my cat running around back there. But it's
What a
good to see
cutie.
y'all. Yeah, this
And
is you see very much here. What you see is my life unscripted. I don't do any editing. Whatever happens, happens. Whatever I say is gone. So
You know, Pappy, they do not bother me because what can they do to me? Kill me? Please do. I'll go home to my Heavenly Father. You can kill my body, but you cannot kill my soul.
Amen to that.
That's the thing. Pappy didn't say that. He said we can't live in fear, right? And people are finally waking up to that. You cannot live in fear. Fear feeds the machine. It feeds that energy that grows and grows. And if we don't feed it, it can't go anywhere. He's like, stop putting words in my mouth, lady.
no, you can take a lot of my words because I forget some words sometimes. That happens. I'm an old man. I can get away with it. So remember what I said
Well, I
before?
thought you were allowed to claim old after 40, right? Anytime after 40, you're allowed to claim old, right? For memory loss.
I can't remember 40. That was a while back.
Well, I get to claim it then officially.
I think that birthday came in this year, and it's already fallen out of this one. Gone.
I don't remember that birthday either.
You're not.
I'm 50. That makes me feel bad.
I'm 51, so I'll be 52 in the spring.
You young kid.
It's amazing that all of us of this generation are standing up, standing out, speaking our hearts, and in so many different places and in so many different ways. And it's really very refreshing, right? Because, all right, what'd you say, Crystal? 51 and Pugs, you're 50? And I'll be 46.
No, I'm 50.
Okay.
I'm
sorry.
50.
I'm 50.
I'm Jack Benny's age. I'm Jack
And Pappy,
Benny's
I know.
age. Jack Benny never got over 39.
Huh?
I gotta go get strawberry shortcakes for the pregnant chick.
Okay, who's got
So,
the echo in the
hey.
back?
I have nothing on.
Don't
Oh
worry.
my
It
goodness!
may be my
Turn your
speaker.
camera on. You missed that.
It's really awesome that there's so many different people coming together at this time. It's a convergence. I love it.
Well, it's not a coincidence. I think that shows intelligent design. I think that's by purpose.
Yeah. And I think maybe too, this will awaken people to not only the not living in fear, but also that collectively we are more powerful. We are more connected than any one of us realizes individually.
Mm-hmm. That new math I keep telling you about. It's really the original math. Everything adds up to one. What, Crystal?
I think if they do have any rioting with the people, that's going to wake up a lot of people too.
Well, I expect there's going to be some of that. When these skirmishes occur between opposing forces like that, and then something comes up and the law is followed, with black and white. In other words, what it shows and stuff like that, and then a verdict is given like it was in this particular case. That doesn't necessarily mean the opposing forces that have some kind of an agenda that was utilizing that as an excuse to continue it are going to stop. Had that been the case, then some of the things that make me scratch my head, there must be a whole lot of new construction that was planned in that city shortly, because there were pallets and pallets and pallets of bricks that were being
brick.
delivered all over that city, this week. So is it, does that mean that the money from the infrastructure bill has already hit that city and they're going to start building back better? I don't know.
You can take your tongue out of your cheek.
But yeah, take a look at it saying,
Well, that's
Happy.
like those mysterious propane tanks that showed up in Washington, D.C. during that January time.
yeah,
That just
especially during
mysteriously showed up.
the winter month when the propane shortage was going on. How about that?
Hey, Pappy,
Yeah,
you're saying that there was pallets of bricks that showed up in the city where the court case was done?
absolutely.
Yep.
Are you
And,
kidding me?
Yeah,
Every
Doesn't
place there's
surprise
been
me, but
the police department
peaceful
actually
protest in air quotes.
made comments of it, I guess, on their website and stuff too. They put the
and they're
word
just
out there.
sitting in the street.
Yeah, well, they're just sitting in big trunks all over the place.
Okay, it's time for us patriots to go up there and pick them all up and take them away.
Well, the question that I have is, whenever you see these kind of things happen, and we've seen this happen before in other cities across the street, so obviously it is not a coincidence. This is something that is pre-planned, which means that the agitation and everything must have a plan behind it as well. Now, the question that I ask is, if a city's DPM, Department of Public Maintenance, happens to see all of these things sitting on their sidewalks, on their streets, and that sort of stuff, and they don't know anything about it, they don't know about any permits or anything else, why were they allowed to even sit there? To me,
Yep.
as far as I'm
They were getting
concerned,
paid. They were getting paid.
well, we don't know that. I'm just saying, but me, as far as I'm concerned, I would look at that if I was a city department of maintenance manager. I'm saying, look at all the free materials somebody donated to us, and I'd be picking them up and storing them.
Yeah, I would too.
And, I'm a glass half full guy all the time. I say, oh, looky, freebies.
I'd pick them up and go build somebody a house.
There you go.
See that must be why that the guard was called out up there.
Yeah, they shift kicker just put in the chat that 5 busloads came into Kenosha this morning.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say the name of that group. And can you please retract? Just because I'm not sure what all trigger things there are or not, but
yeah, it's a crazy world where
the bakers and the ant makers.
Yes.
That's
Well,
what they're called, the bakers and the ant makers.
Yeah.
If I were to walk,
if
if I lived inside one of these cities and I were to walk outside and find that, I would be like, new driveway, new sidewalk. Let's get to it.
Build me a patio.
Yeah.
Right? Let's go do something nice for somebody.
Brick fireplace on my teepee.
Yep. Or raise flower beds.
Right? Something. Do something creative with that.
Raised bed
But
garden
we-
like Prepper Nurse One has.
Something
My
they're
other
doing
thing
for
is-
evil when they turn around and do for good.
Exactly.
Right.
You guys have heard me talk about that before, about taking back our symbols, taking back the meanings of our words. Don't let them turn stuff. Yeah, we can't do that. We have to be the ones to teach the next generation what's going on right in front of them.
I tell my grandbaby all the time, God created rainbows.
There's our sister Bonnie.
Hey, Bonnie.
Hey, Vaughn.
Hey, Jen. I seen you in chat.
But I think we're turning a tide. I think a lot of people are waking up to what's really going on, and eventually somebody's going to go find out what brick company those bricks were palleted on, and then they're going to ask that company to see an invoice for the order, and then they're going to follow that invoice to a buyer, and then they're going to follow that buyer right on up the line.
Yeah, and you know where
Yeah,
the
his
money
name-
are at. George.
Well,
His name is
you know-
George. And he's not
Heather, you know what-
curious.
Name is-
And his
what
last
was right
name
here?
ends in Sand.
I think
It's
you all
called
know as well as
Soros.
I do that information's
Yeah, I was
already
trying
been
not to
gathered.
say it.
Go ahead, Pappy.
That information's already been gathered, I'm sure.
Oh, yes, absolutely. But it's that getting it out to the people. Stop hiding it behind paperwork and whatnot. We know that the powers that be, and I'm air quoting here because I really don't believe they're any power over me, and I don't give them any power over me.
Amen to that.
But, and that's, that's it. That's the other thing, you guys. We have to stand up like that child did, and he is a child, like that child did, and say, we are not going to live in fear. We are not going to give you power over us anymore. And that's, I think, maybe what he was trying to do. He was trying not just protect things, but to be a living example of that. We will not continue to do this and live like this. We were not made for this, right?
Nope. This is all the NWO working. The WHO.
Well, Pappy didn't. I thought I heard that the sheriffs or the police out there got those bricks out of the way now.
Oh, I don't know. They may have. I just, I was reading a little bit on the bricks there yesterday. Some of the stuff that was posted on another channel there, not another channel, but another platform. They had photos of the bricks in various different places and stuff. So, I mean, that would be smart. I mean, you take away the incentive. You know what I'm saying? So,
Pappy, can I ask you something?
I think the mentality is changing now. So,
I mean, I know I can ask you something. You can decline to answer if you like. But I've been thinking about this for a while. These people who would accept money to cause destruction, or would just cause the destruction for the sake of destruction. What are we to think of these people? That's not the right way to say it. That's not what I'm trying to say. How do we interpret that behavior, and how in the world do we breach that and not so much change the thought process, but show them a different way? How do we do that for them?
Well, I think probably the first place to start would be to ask the questions about, if you know inside yourself, well, these are things that I wouldn't do. Then you have to ask yourself the question, what has motivated them to do what they do, or to believe what they believe, or to put into action plans that, are so destructive or whatever. Okay. Until you know that, till you step into their moccasins and see where they're coming from, you have no idea why these things are happening. You don't know whether or not they've been manipulated to believe something. They've been indoctrinated to believe something. They've, or if they're just, purely negative. I mean, we have positive and negative poles on magnets, so we obviously have positive and negative poles on the energy poles of people as well, so
Maybe we can send out love through that cosmic tether that we all share.
well,
Maybe we can just send them love, and whoever hasn't severed their tether will feel it. I don't know.
We have to send it up to the highest good, because sometimes, these things are brought into being in order to facilitate a needed change. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes, if the pot gets cracked, at some point it's going to need to be broken so that it can be, be crushed down into the dust and everything, mixed with water again and refired into a new pot. So we
Right.
don't know whether or not, some of these groups or some of these ideologies or some of these dogmas or something are not being utilized for that, for that purpose, by a much higher power. We can't see it. We can't connect the dots. We're just living it. We're having to experience it.
Right.
It might well be beyond our understanding because, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I call Creator the great mystery, the original miracle, the greatest mystery of all that'll never be solved.
Right. Yeah.
Well,
Bonnie said she heard a lot of that, that song that's real popular with everyone.
Yeah.
In front of the courthouse by all. Maybe if they find that thread of commonality with each other, who knows? We may have a miracle. You know.
I don't discount miracles at all. I mean, you can certainly see them, but the way things are today, unless a miracle is so extraordinary, for people to take notice, they'll never take notice of the miracles that they experience numerous times every day.
Right.
Because they've taken them for granted.
Right. What song was that? I missed that.
We're the fact that we're even
let's
having
go,
this discourse and talking.
Bella.
Oh, let's go, Fido.
Yes, that one.
The fact that we're even able to have a discourse with each other and understand what each other's saying is in itself a miracle. Because of having self-awareness is a miracle. Taking that first breath every morning when you wake up, miracle. It's blessings that have been given. We can't make any of those things. None of us could make those things. So it's got to be a miracle.
I'm trying to work on a new song. I've never written a song in my life called Sippy Cup Joe.
Well, start with a tune. Maybe you can find the words to fit the tune. I do it all the time. I hear a nice tune and I'll put my own words to it.
Because Heels Up Campbell Hoto has the football today, don't you?
Not anymore. He's out of anesthesia.
But he's coherent and everything?
Well, he wasn't before anesthesia. Come on now.
My point exactly.
May I ask who y'all are talking about?
Sippy Cup Joe.
He had surgery?
No, he had a poop scooper done.
He needed it after the Pope.
I still crack up when I hear about that.
They give him a butt plug.
All his little minions was falling out when he was in front of the Pope.
Okay, folks. Well, let you know that we're all destined for physical breakdown, at some point in our life.
I'll check out before that. If I can't have my mind and the physical ability to take care of myself, I'm gonna do exactly what my grandma did. I'm checking out like she did. She just said, I'm not living this way because she ended up with cancer towards the end. And I would go over and help my aunts out when my one aunt was working. I'd go over and sit with her. And one day her and I had a nice conversation. She says, I ain't living this way, being taken care of. And I said, well, hopefully you get to go back home. And she said, I'm checking out soon.
Yeah.
She just said, it's not like she was ready to go. She missed my grandfather. He died in 1987 and she passed away in 2008. She missed him. And I said, well, if you got to go home, go home.
Everything
Yeah.
comes down to personal choices when we make any decision.
Right.
And you know, some, of course, a lot of choices that are made are done unknowingly, but those that have been given some thought, and they they resonate with what our spirit is telling us. Who's to say, that that's a wrong decision? You can't, because you can't make that decision for them.
Nope. That was her decision.
Yeah.
I've
And
worked
my
with people with
grandbaby is named
dementia.
after her. My granddaughter is named after my grandmother.
I've worked with Alzheimer's and dementia patients. It is sad. You just don't know how many times a lamp went by my head.
It is sad. It's hard on them. It's hard on the family.
It's hard on them when they take them there and never come back.
Right.
That's sad.
See, I was raised that you don't let your family go into a nursing home. I was raised you take care of your elders.
I took care of my mama till she passed away. She had a small cell lung disease. I was
Aw.
not going to put her. I had the training. I did everything. The only thing I didn't do is I didn't want to mess with her medication. So I did everything else. They wanted me to let them bathe her. I said no. I'm not putting her out like that. She's more comfortable with me doing it than somebody she don't know.
Right. Yeah, I took care of my great grandmother with my grandparents. And I took care of my grandfather when I was in high school on the weekend, so my grandmother could sleep, and they didn't have to pay to have somebody sit up all night with them, because he had to have 24-hour care towards the end. So my cousin Sean and I would sit up at night and take care of them.
Well, I did it because I loved it. I'm a giver. I'm one that likes to take care of other people. And I just pray when I get to that stage in my life, since I did what I did, that God would send someone to help take care of me and do me right.
Right.
I think all things work the way they're supposed to work, and that goes for good and bad, because we all know that no matter what bad times we've suffered in our lives, it's really made us appreciate the good times more. Right?
Right. Yes.
So you have to have both to appreciate any of it, I think, to some extent. Now, that's not to say that I agree that hurting people is any, I don't agree with that. I really don't. I would love, ideally, to see a world where we are all related, where we are all brother and sister, and we refuse to fight another man's wars. That would be ideal to me, that we see our connection rather than our differences, and that we use our differences to make a more colorful world.
I agree.
That's my idea. That's my ideal world. That's what I would love to see.
My mom used to say, kill them with kindness. They want to fight and argue, walk away and laugh. They'll hate that more than anything.
You can get more bees with honey.
Things don't always work out the way we want them to, or the way we plan them. And the funny thing about plans is, when you make plans, inevitably they fail somewhere.
Yep.
Right? You have to be adaptable. You have to be adjustable. You have to roll with those punches, and you have to learn the lessons from those punches, lest you receive more.
Yeah, and I took care of my boyfriend too. he had a brain tumor.
Mm.
So I've
It all come back.
pardon me.
I said all things would return to you 100% for what you've done for others.
Yep.
Ooh. Which card is that?
This is actually a book. Okay. A book of cards, a book of wisdom. As Robert and I have been pulling cards primarily from the Native American thing. I also have a set because my wife is Hawaiian, Polynesian. Well, she's a mixture of a few things. That's okay. I'll keep her anyways. So am I.
Just adds more flavor to the pot.
But I've been listening to, where the discussions and everything have gone today. And I picked up on one of the things that a lot of people are expressing, okay, both in the chat and some of your conversations here. And that is sticking to your beliefs that you know are right and doing the right thing in spite of or without regard of the other things. Okay, so I pulled a card. And the card that I pulled is called Hi'iaka. And let's talk about Hi'iaka. Let me tell you the story of Hi'iaka. Hi'iaka, this card it says this, Hi'iaka in the bosom of Pele. Pele is the goddess of fire of the Polynesian cultures.
Yes.
Okay, and the chant is La ahia aumika ko hiwa. I have held myself apart for an illusion. Hi'iaka is associated with the healing arts and hula. Hi'iaka, Ikapoliopele, was a favorite younger sister of the famous and feared volcano goddess Pele. Some stories say Hi'iaka was born as an egg from the palm of the hand of the Earth Mother. As an egg, Hi'iaka was transported in Pele's armpit from Kahiki to Hawaii. Hi'iaka is best known for undertaking a perilous journey to the island of Kauai, where she went to retrieve Pele's lover, Lohiau. Before Hi'iaka left the volcano to go on this mission, which was to be accomplished within 40 days, Pele promised Hi'iaka that she would not harm Hi'iaka's lehua groves or her best friend, Hopoi. But Hi'iaka encountered numerous obstacles on her way. The landscape she traversed was treacherous and the weather was often hostile. Mo'o lizard monsters rose up and attempted to trap her, even though she had been provided with some of Pele's mana, or power, to protect her on her journey. Hi'iaka was unable to complete her mission in 40 days. When Hi'iaka finally made it to Lohiau's home in Kauai, she found that he had committed suicide because of his longing for Pele. Hi'iaka used sorcery to locate Lohiau's spirit and restore him to life. Because Hi'iaka had cared for Lohiau, a bond formed between them that manifested as mutual attraction and tempted their devotion to Pele as they journeyed back towards her home. In spite of this temptation, Hi'iaka remained loyal to Pele and did not give in to her desire for Lohiau. Pele, however, who is said to have once stolen her older sister's lover, grew increasingly suspicious when they did not return as soon as she expected. In a jealous rage, she destroyed Hi'iaka's lehua forest and turned Hopoe to lava. In retaliation, Hi'iaka abandoned her devotion to Pele and made love to Lohi'au, right on the edge of the crater where Pele was sure to see them. Now, this is part of their creation story, okay, because Pele is the creator of the earth over there, but it's done through destructive forces. And as fire is a symbol of the passions, so to speak, it can both be warming and destructive. So that's kind of what this story is saying here. Now, the interpretation is this: that Hi'iaka connects our hands and our hearts, our actions with love. When we have our hearts set on a particular outcome, it often happens. Such an outcome, though, may be the opposite of what we really want. Negative expectations and fears can become enemies of our heart's desires. For example, in the story of Pele and Lohi'au, Pele was so certain that Hi'iaka would betray her by becoming lovers with Lohi'au that she set into motion a negative chain of events that helped to make it happen, what she had feared the most. Likewise, the more we set our hearts on a positive outcome, the better chances are that it's going to occur, provided we do not have unresolved issues blocking our way. Take Pele, for example. She probably expected Hi'iaka's betrayal because she once had an affair with one of her other sister's lovers. Consequently, she expected a similar betrayal from Hi'iaka. Purify your expectations by acknowledging the pain of all your past mistakes and disappointments so that you can heal from them. Such self-examination may require that you make a journey to the dark realm of unresolved feelings and desires. Once inner demons such as guilt and disappointment are defeated, you will no longer need to battle with them outside in the form of destructive behavior. Hi'iaka, in the bosom of Pele, teaches that what hatches in our outer lives is often a result of what we carry in our own hearts. Therefore, it is important that we fully explore what it is that we want and what it is we think we are worthy of having. Do you think you deserve attainment or destruction? Hi'iaka teaches us not to use our energy on that which is not worthy of our devotion. Instead, she reminds us to fully devote ourselves to that which is worthy of our efforts. Choose wisely. Focus on a positive outcome, and you will be well on your way. The key word there is choose wisely what you want, and then devote yourself to it. That means, in other terminology, you walk your talk. You stand fast. You keep your eye on the destination and allow your feet to go whatever path is necessary to get to the destination. If you do like I've mentioned many times before, and you filter everything through that filter of the heart, it helps you. And that's from the Polynesian wisdom cards.
And boy, wasn't that appropriate for today, right?
Yeah.
I would add something to that, if I might, Pappy. And that is, our thoughts are very powerful things. We don't think much of our thoughts. We don't give them as much consideration as we should, right? They pop up into our heads, and then we just kind of let loose with them, right? And we filter ourselves a little bit sometimes with anger and other things. But I'm gonna put this to everyone out there listening. what if your thoughts could instantly manifest? Would you be more careful with them? Would you be more kind and loving with them? Would you be less fearful in the event that something you feared could instantly manifest? So if we were to approach it that way, keeping our eye on the prize, on that final glorious prize, would we not go further faster? Maybe that's not the way to say it, but
Well, I'm going to tell you one thing. I agree with exactly what you said. Okay. And that's our limitations, isn't it? We can't see the results of what we put into action and what we've given energy to once it gets out on the web and starts traveling.
Right.
Until it gets to the point that the result and the consequences, if you will, of that have occurred, and then we get the feedback. Were we able to see into the future and see the consequences? Yeah, we would probably not make a lot of the stumbles that we do. You know, we'd zip our lips shut before we uttered what we uttered. But we're human; we can't do that. So the only thing we can do is learn from that happening in the past. Okay, remembering it, storing it in the gathering basket in our heart, so that when we get ready to say something, it goes. We send it to the heart gathering basket and see whether or not we've already created that mess before we let those words out.
yes. Hi, Dorinda. Hi, Robert.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Dorinda.
Hi,
Hi.
Dorinda.
Good to see you. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Pappy, Brian had a question for you, and if you can't answer it, I think Robert might be able to.
Well, I have a little bit of insight into it. Yeah, I mean, I'm not personally, because I've never taken them. I've not taken any mind altering thing that I'm aware of, at least voluntarily. But in looking at the other cultures that utilize these sort of techniques, I know that it is able to put the mind in a different place. And when you put the mind in a different place, it changes the spiritual energy frequency, allowing a person to go from the physicality into the spiritual realms. Okay. Now, I'm a firm believer that because the body is made up first off of a spiritual matrix, and then our body forms around it. When you elicit changes within the spirit energy matrix, they also elicit changes within the physical body at some point in time, or at least the physical expression of that. So, do I think healing can take place with these? Yes, I do. And now, medicinally, there may in fact be things, that are found within these various different green growing things that we have in the planet, and other things that have not yet been fully identified or even accepted that have certain healing capabilities. So when that question was kind of general, because healing. Well, healing can mean a lot of things. Are you talking about healing the body, healing the mind, healing the thoughts, healing the spirit, healing the emotions? We're a rather dynamic, holistic being, right, Robert? It's over to you.
There's a new thing going on right now. It's called microdosing. They're trying to get. I think they're already researching it. They're trying to help microdose with these mushrooms that'll bring people out of their depression and anxiety and suicidal issues.
Yeah, that was a big thing. They said last year suicide went through the roof.
Yeah, it's
very sad to me that people don't know how to sit with themselves.
Comes times that question brings up a hard thing for me right now.
Oh, I'm sorry, brother.
I'm dealing with it right now. Our only surviving, my only surviving stepson, his girlfriend, is studying to be a doctor, which is hard study, but she, we're going to see if we can't get her into that. She has these suicidal conditions, and not good.
Oh,
So we, especially after what he's already been through with his brothers. Yeah, it's. I'm just being honest. It's a mind screw.
Yeah.
Really.
It's an attack of the spirit.
Yeah, that's why Coraline kind of went up there to kind of, you know what I mean, to see if she can help counsel him at all.
Mm-hmm.
Did she take sage and sweetgrass?
She's very conventional. She likes to discard the debate about probabilities of anything. So just so you know what I mean. She's she's not spiritual at all that I know of.
Yeah, except that she really enjoys listening to us and our conversations.
No, I'm talking about that. My stepson's girlfriend. She's.
Oh.
I asked her about. That's an example. I asked her about. She was here for Christmas last year, and I asked her about the after. When you what do you call that? After death experiences.
Mm-hmm.
We know about that.
Yeah.
And she says, no, that's just da 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 da. But she did not once ever think about the possibility, you know what I mean? The possibilities that it's correct. She's totally opposite. No, that doesn't happen. You know what I mean?
Well, sometimes, Robert, that mindset can't change until they get presented something that they cannot answer in their allopathic linear thinking. And that turns a little light bulb on. Yeah. Or it seals shut the door forever. One of the two things happen. They become an opponent to it because they've been presented something that they can't explain, or they explore the possibilities of the unexplained. Big difference. Okay. And a lot of that is through the methodologies and doctrine that they're taught, as they go through these schools and stuff, so.
Yeah.
And it's tough for these young ones coming up, that they're not grounded in the possibilities of everything that's around us, but everybody will get exposed to these things at different, at different levels. We've got stuff now that's accepted in mainstream medical and psychological treatments and stuff that were adamantly opposed violently sometimes in the past. You know that as well as I do. The fact that there's a little acquiescence now that the insurance companies are even paying for chiropractors. Think about that one. There was a time where you couldn't see a chiropractor unless you paid out of your own pocket because that wasn't accepted.
Right.
That wasn't a medical.
I love my chiropractor. My chiropractor is also an acupuncturist.
Yeah. Well, that's becoming acceptable too, as is therapeutic touch and things of this nature that are being recognized as having a value because it's been validated. Okay. But it takes a long time for that to come into the system, so that they will in fact teach that. They'll continue to teach the what they call the tried and true scientific approach to everything. And that leads me to another thing that you mentioned, Robert, when you were talking on the question about the mushroom, and they're looking at the capabilities to deal with these issues. Once again, this is very much the establishment, if you will, looking at something that shows some value and seeing whether or not they can isolate what it is that's showing the value and turn it into pill form and charge you for it.
Yep.
Okay. Now we know that happens. Okay. And usually what happens when that happens is that If they can't get it from a natural source, they're going to go to their scientists and say, okay, we can synthetically produce this. But it's taken out of context. It's not the whole organism that's being used. So that it's taken out of balance again.
Modified.
Even the thinking process is taken out of balance, you know?
Yep.
So the support for someone that has these types of issues, the way that I look at it, I'm seeing missing pieces. I'm seeing pieces that have been buried. I'm seeing pieces that have been hidden. I'm seeing pieces that have been stolen. You know, that's what we call soul retrieval work. You know, reestablishing assistance for the person that's going through this to go out and gather their stolen puzzle pieces back.
That's
So that they can make their picture again.
That's her, man.
Yeah, when they make their picture again, it's not going to be the same one they had before.
Yep, that's her. You know, yep, that's her exactly.
Yep.
Yep. I don't.
Have either one of you heard? Oops, sorry.
And we don't know her parents, what kind of life she had, anything like that, you know.
Yeah.
But it like when we were talking to Corinne yesterday, it brought tears to my eyes knowing that she would even bring that up to us three. You know what I mean? After what we've been through last year, you come into our son's life, and then you may act like you're normal, and then when the relationship gets more serious, and he moves up there, and then you say these things.
Can I point out something to you, Robert?
It's beyond me.
Okay. Now, I know very much that you're on a healing path, on a path to be a healer, okay, in your own right.
One of the things, too. You know what I mean?
One of the things that I found, Robert, is this. If things need to be healed, they're brought up to be healed. Okay? In other words, they're brought up to be taken care of. You know, sometimes when we give energy healing and stuff to people, it brings things, bubbles things up that have to be taken care of in order for help to be regained. Okay? That doesn't mean that we're the ones going to take care of them, you know, but it points them out to have important choices to be made. And then it also brings up, in this case here, there's healing in more than one place going on here. This is bringing up healing not only to that location, but your location. Do you see that connection?
Yes, sir, I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. And that wouldn't be brought to you if you didn't have the strength to be able to find the answers for that.
Right.
Or the appropriate action for that.
That's why we invested for her trip to go to see if she can help at all. Pretty much.
Well, you know, you can help from wherever you are, you know, by setting it up to, you know, for the energy to go up for the highest good. We've all seen the power of that. We can do that individually.
Right, have to do that.
You know, so, but once again, is it one of those things that you have to rationalize in your own mind to help me understand the things that I can change and to help me accept the things that are beyond my ability to change? It's in somebody else's hands.
I read that somewhere.
It's in the AA book, 12 steps.
Yep.
Well, I didn't read that.
Accept that I have a problem. 2, accept the things that I can change, and accept the things that I cannot change.
Maybe my friend did say that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he was an AA counselor. Yeah, I bet he said that.
Yeah, but I think that the AA steps can be applied to regular life too.
Oh yeah, that's what. Yep.
Well, that's what it is. It's actually life teachings.
Yeah, it's day-to-day life teachings.
Yeah, they're applying it to AA. They're applying it to Narcotics Anonymous.
Right.
You can apply those same principles, you know, to you know, any name you want to give, any label you want to give it.
Okay.
Can I-
Has anybody
Can I
heard
chime
of
in a little?
Hawaska?
Thank
Go
you,
ahead,
Brian.
Krista.
Thank you, Brian, for the question. See,
Has
I healed a
anybody
little.
up here?
Go ahead, Crystal.
Has anybody up here? I think I'm saying it right. Hawaski. They drink this stuff and they go into a meditated state, and it's supposed to.
Ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca.
Yeah.
I know I have not.
No.
I haven't. You know, that sounds to me like Ka'ava of the Polynesians,
Right.
peyote of the Mexican and the southwestern plains Indians and stuff. You know, and even though I've been in areas where it was offered to me, the side effects of it kind of you know. Why do I want to take something that's going to make me puke violently and crawl around on my elbows? You know.
Yep.
Mhm.
Get that peace pipe out.
I want to comment on this because this is something that it affects everyone, whether we know it or not. A lot of times, those types of thoughts will arise in people that have no mental instability to speak of when they feel like everything that they have based their personality on is ripped away from them. And that is that external looking. And I say this from experience. So part of healing that is to find out what it was that they've based their personality on, right? What was it? Their family history? Was it their name? Was it their location, the type of school they went to? Any number of things. You know, we build our external personalities here based on a lot of things, right? We build all of our perceptions in life based on certain things. And until we learn to look inside of ourselves to find our completion, those will be our security blankets. And once those security blankets get pulled away, it's like pulling the rug out from underneath anybody, you know. So a lot of times it is a lack of knowing the self or even being able to love the self when people go through those issues. And I think that's true of a lot of what happened over this period of time that we are in right now with the people who decided they didn't want to march on this plane anymore for whatever purpose. I think a lot of them don't know, never were taught, and couldn't figure out maybe how to look within and be whole that way rather than looking without. And you guys remember months ago when we started this channel, I was very worried about how people would act if their security blankets were pulled away from them. Do you remember me talking about that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So a lot of times when younger people have those types of thoughts, it's not self-castigation. It's a loss of all the security that they've ever known, and they were never taught to find it within. So those are my 2 cents. I hope it helps.
I really agree.
It's interesting that you bring up a point that a couple of times on what you said there, Heather. You know, darkness, you know, what within themselves and things of this nature, you know. And that just reminds me, you know, the importance. You've heard me talking about, you know, going to the looks within place, okay? And like the song, you know, hello darkness, my old friend.
Yes.
I've come to talk with you again. People don't do that very often anymore, okay? So I'm going to reread this poem that I wrote about darkness, his friend. because sometimes we need to encourage people to go into the darkness, not the darkness they're experiencing, but the true darkness. Darkness, darkness, you are my blanket. I wrap around myself in time of need. Let me bury my pain and my sorrow. Let my prayers go forth as seed. You are the taker, the great transformer, bringing healing in times of stress. On your ashes I place my offerings, that you may lead me to emptiness. Only then can I look to receive blessings for that which I've given away, replacing who I was and what I used to be for who I hope to be today. Within the dark, I can see the light that is coming from eternal flame, connecting me to truth I've learned and where to place the blame. I place new fuel upon this spark, fanning with my breath of intent, building the fire that will transform me along with the prayers I've sent. I tend this fire with a lover's touch, in hopes the flames will grow, to fill the shadows of emptiness with peace and harmony's glow. Darkness, darkness, you've been a real friend, helping me to look within. I'm not fearful of your presence, for I know that's where all my journeys begin. Creator lives there inside my soul, tending the spark of life, waiting to pass the torch to me if I just lay down my strife. He teaches me so I can reach out to you and tell you of what I've found. For Creator's gifts are many and strong, and your life becomes profound.
Beautiful.
Still so potent.
So, when the hard part is when we're dealing with people that go through different things in their lives that cause them to walk in the darkness. They fear the darkness because of the effect that it's having on them. But there's a different type of darkness. And that was the one that I wrote about. That to get them to go where they can be brutally honest with themselves and take the pill of truth and then do something about it. Because that place of darkness that looks within place, that's their power place. Many of them are disconnected from it. They're wandering in the darkness of the outback. And sometimes it takes a pathfinder like one of you, a family member, or just a happen chance encounter with somebody that bounces them in the right place to put them on the path. Okay? So we're all healers in that aspect. We're all pathfinders in that aspect. We're all teachers in that aspect. We're all supporters in that aspect and warriors for other in that aspect. All connected. Okay? And it's difficult to see the different shades of darkness. But you can feel the different shades of darkness.
Yes.
Those of you that have the ability to say, I see you, can tell which darkness a person is in. And lead them, because of your feelings, to the darkness they need to explore themselves. Because the two darknesses are different. One is fearful, and the other is like a warm blanket.
Yes. And I think a lot of people fear it because, we're taught that darkness is not a good thing, but we all have a beautiful, bright, shining light that is contrasted by that darkness within us. And it's not what you've been told. And until you truly set with that darkness within you, until you can set with it, you'll not you'll not walk into the light. Not truly. You'll remain in the shadow, and that's not an existence.
Well, the important thing is, like I said in the poem, the spark is there. You have to fan it.
Right.
You're not, you don't fan it vigorously with a club as you're beating the spark. You fan it with the wings of love, of butterfly, of hummingbird. You fan it with the wings of your heart.
There you go again.
And it glows brighter and brighter and brighter, and you feed it to get that. And what do you feed it? You feed it all the stuff you want to get rid of, to transmute it. Let fire transform it.
Yep.
Let it bring into the metamorphosis that which is supposed to be there. Let it refine the metal that you're putting in there and come out fine gold.
Transformation.
Yeah, sometimes people have to cocoon before they can be reborn.
Yep.
And when you're cocooned, you're in the darkness.
Yep. Wrapped around you.
Mhm. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I've come to talk with you again.
Mm-hmm. We don't do it often enough. The key word is again.
Yes.
Knock, and the door will be open to you, because that's your door. You're the only one that have a key to that door. Reach into your heart and take the key out, unlock the door, and walk in. The hidden key.
Dorinda, you're so quiet.
I'm listening.
He's munching.
And I'm munching. Yeah.
I'm going to step away for a minute, feed the cats. I'll be back.
Okay.
All right, Pappy, thank you.
He's scratching my leg up, so I know it's time.
Oh, yeah. A little scratch and post treatment. I love that treatment, don't you?
Hurry back. Hurry back. I got something for you.
Oh, boy. Yeah, Chris, I think a lot of people are being drawn together in this time, and I know it's for a reason. It's for a purpose, and people come and go, and the group gets really small, and then it grows really large, and then it goes really small again, and that's okay, because everything has a time and a place. Everything has a reason, and we welcome you. We're honored to have you here with us.
That is correct.
Much love, Chris. You're echoing, Heather.
I am. I'm sorry, guys.
For what?
She's echoing like a.
Oh.
Echo. See, I did this new configuration so that I would have the room behind me to show you guys that it's progress is being made, right? And how nice it looks, because I'm so tickled with it. But it really messed up my audio stuff.
You're gonna like this, Heather.
I know. I can feel it. I can feel your anticipation.
This is wow. I'm not used to this everyday thing, really. This is every day.
But the more in tune you get, the
yeah,
easier it is to recognize the message, isn't it?
Very, very easy. Very. It's amazing.
I almost feel like doing a, well, folks, what have we learned today?
Yeah. Wait till I'm done, then you can say that. It goes
Right
with
on.
It goes with everything we've been talking about.
Man, we've been down in the valley and at the top of the hill today, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yep.
All over. What a journey. I love this, that we journey together every day like this. I do. I really love you guys. I can't even tell you. It's amazing to me.
And this thing pops up like, really? Interesting.
Chris is asking if there's an email or something he can reach out to, I guess you, Heather.
There you go, Chris. That's our email. Anybody else that wants it, feel free to email us. I do try to check them at least once a day. Oh, Camo, it was really good. We spoke about a lot of things today.
Hey, Camo.
We even covered news stuff today. Can you believe it?
Wow. What kind of news stuff did you reach on?
The young man who was charged with multiple charges for defending his own life was found not guilty on all charges.
Awesome. I didn't hear that. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
I didn't think you had, so that's why I went ahead and mentioned it.
Awesome.
We talked about other stuff too, but there's been so much already.
Yep.
Love Pugs and Crystal. Catch her
Yeah.
up.
I'm just happy that he was, because that case was a lot more than just that kid. That was the nation's Second Amendment and our right to defend ourselves.
Yep.
Chris is
Yes.
a sister, by the way.
That's awesome.
Oh, awesome.
Let's hope
I
that
was
there's
wondering.
no riots because of it, but we'll see.
Well-
If there is, I think they're just be in the same cities that are run by,
Yeah.
you know, the D people, and
We're gonna
That's
try
it.
something about that. We're gonna try something about that, right, ladies and gentlemen? We're gonna send out love along that creative tether. We're gonna send out love to those young folks that may or may not choose to create mayhem and destruction for whether it's pleasure or pay. I don't care which, but I'm gonna send them some love and hope it opens something, a pathway for them.
I just want to say one thing before we do. What you're seeing with them young people is what happens when you take God out of school. 2, you take the discipline away from the parents and the teachers and principal. And 3, you put one-minded people that aren't for a republic in the colleges that teach the future teachers to think one way, and if you don't, there's something wrong with you. And then now that's what you're seeing. This is the result of it.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say that before we started with the positivity.
Well, thanks for knocking it out of the park. And Robert, I do believe Pappy has rejoined us.
Yeah, we're all the results of somebody screwing around in the past, right?
Remember when Pappy first came up, he was talking about you got to find your own little blessings in life.
Right.
And then what did I write, Heather? You highlighted it.
Yep.
What was I
Yep.
doing?
Blessings everywhere. You just have to look for them.
Just watching the hummingbirds fight over the juice was a blessing for me this morning.
Yep.
And what did Pappy just mention? Hummingbird. Guess what card came up?
Hummingbird.
Really?
Yes,
Wow.
really. Unbelievable. But here it is.
Bomb diggity.
Ain't it?
You know, I put a hummingbird feeder out up here for the first time in years, and I didn't get one hummingbird, but I did get 4 butterflies.
All right. That's semi-coming.
Robert reads like medicine cards and animal cards.
Okay, it says hummingbird, joyful little sister, nectar you crave. All the sweetness of the flowers is the love you gave. Hummingbird is associated with the ghost spirit religion, which taught that a certain dance done properly would bring about the return of the animals and that white people would disappear. Once again, the original people would know the joy of the old ways. In Mayan teaching, hummingbird is connected to the black sun and the fifth world. Hummingbird can give us the medicine to solve the riddle of a contradiction of duality. The song of hummingbird awakens the medicine flowers. Hummer sings a vibration of pure joy. Flowers love hummingbird because their nectar sucking brings about the reproduction of their families. Plants flower and live because of hummingbird. Hummingbird can fly in any direction, up, down, backward, and forward. Hummingbird can also hover in one spot and appear to be motionless. Great Spirit called hummingbird. Great Spirit created hummingbird to be slightly different from other feathered creatures. Because of their magical qualities, hummingbird feathers have been used for a millennium in the making of love charms. It is said that hummingbird conjures love as no other medicine does, and that hummingbird feathers open the heart. Without an open and loving heart, you can never taste the nectar.
I'll be back.
Without an open and loving heart, you can never taste the nectar and pure bliss of life. To brother and sister hummingbird, life is a wonderland of delight, darting from one beautiful flower to another, tasting the essence and the radiation of color. If hummingbird is in your personal medicine, you love life and its joys. Your presence brings joy to others. You join people together in relationships, which brings out the best in them. You know instinctively where beauty abides, and near or far, you journey to your ideal. You move comfortably with a beautiful environment and help others taste the succulent nectar of life. Hummingbird holds the bow of beauty, which is delicately inlaid with gold and silver flowers, pearls, and precious jewels. Hummingbird disdains ugliness or harshness and quickly flies away from discord or disharmony. If hummingbird has flown into your cards, get ready to laugh musically and enjoy Creator's many gifts. Drop your judgment, attitude, and relax. Hummingbird will no doubt give you a flash of the spirit darting here, there, and everywhere. Get ready for a strange new burst of energy which may send you senses reeling. Hummingbird hears the celestial music and it is in harmony with it. Hummingbird may invite you to an art museum or a concert. Hummingbird energetically embraces the highest aesthetics. Never be coarse in front of hummingbird, for its fragile medicine, which have no understanding of worldly affairs. Beauty is the target, and hummingbird's mission is to spread joy or to be destroyed. Hummingbird quickly dies if caged, caught, or imprisoned. Follow Sister Hummingbird, and you will soon be filled with the paroxysms of joy and experience the renewal of the magic of living. Very cool.
Very cool.
The
Wow. See?
hummingbird used to be my mom's favorite.
Now you know why. Spreading love.
That's amazingly beautiful and very in tune with what we've been talking about and where we are going.
Great. And for those who don't know, I put my cards in a pile. I shuffle, I cut them, and I put them in a nice circular pile, and I pick. And hummingbird came.
You know what you're talking about, Robert, and what actually what we're all talking about is an intent to walk forward in our life with a certain energy that we wish to move in. And one of the most beautiful things that I've ever seen that brought that succinctly and reinforces what it is that keeps coming up in the cards that we pull and the teachings that we pull is that one teaching. And has anyone ever heard of the prayer by the Navajo people called Walk in Beauty?
No.
You're
No.
more than welcome to share it with us.
Okay, well, if you want, I'll go ahead and read it to you. The Navajo are the Dene people, one of the Pueblo people of the Southwest. Matter of fact, a lot of their ladies down there, they're unmarried gals and stuff like that. They all have their hair done up in the shape of a butterfly. It looks like a butterfly's wings. But they have a prayer, and it's called the closing prayer of the Navajo Beauty Way blessing ceremony, and it's called Walking in Beauty. And it says, and I'm going to read this verbatim here. In beauty I walk, with beauty before me I walk, with beauty behind me I walk, with beauty above me I walk, with beauty around me I walk. It has become beauty again. Today I will walk out. Today everything negative will leave me. It will be as I was before. I will have a cool breeze over my body. I will have a light body. I will be happy forever. Nothing will hinder me. I walk with beauty below me. I walk with beauty above me. I walk with beauty around me. My words will be beautiful. In beauty all day long may I walk. Through the returning seasons may I walk. On the trail marked with pollen may I walk. With dew about my feet may I walk. With beauty before me may I walk. With beauty behind me may I walk. With beauty below me may I walk. With beauty above me may I walk. With beauty all around me may I walk. In old age wandering on a trail of beauty lively may I walk. In old age wandering on a trail of beauty living again may I walk. My words will be beautiful. Do you see intent? Do you see the meaning of the term walk your talk? Do you see enclosing yourself with a certain energy and walking it into your existence and into the existence of everyone that you encounter?
Yes.
Do you see why you have such lightness and joy in the wings of a butterfly, of a hummingbird that's feeding off the sweetest of nectars of the flowers and pollinating life at the same time? In beauty, we walk all the time if we open our eyes. That's for you, Robert, and anybody else that was listening.
I hope.
I hope.
We're
Wow.
all mesmerized by what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know, we think things, and then by saying them, we send them out. We talked about that earlier. Be careful what you say and send out, because you don't know what life is going to take on. You don't know what monster you've created that you're going to have to battle later on. You know, just the way it is. I'd rather battle a beautiful hummingbird and maybe a butterfly than some ornery old bear with a footprint on his butt.
You know what, Pappy? Your love story is so impressive to me. Even though I don't know the whole of it, and I may never, and that's fine. But it's impressive to me because it shows the boundlessness of love and the time is what, you know, it's not what we believe it to be.
Yeah. Time after time.
Yeah.
It took you a long time to get that hummingbird to land on your paw, though.
The second time. At least
Well,
Hummingbird
ladies
didn't land the second time with the claws of eagle.
I think this is a wonderful place for us to have our final thoughts for the day, and hopefully we send off everyone with an uplifted spirit and a light spring in their step and a consciousness of their thoughts and their words. Anybody want final thoughts?
Just shine and be positive. And be kind.
Mine is love, light, and happiness. I love you on panel, and I love you in chat. I'll talk to you later.
Love you too, Crystal. Thanks for coming up, hon.
All right, Crystal.
Love you, Crystal.
Love y'all too.
Big brother or father? Which one wants next?
Let's let Big Brother go. Hold on a second. I want to put my listening ears on.
Y'all, well, everyone knows how easy it is to live in the darkness and like Pappy said, don't wrap yourself in the darkness. Don't be a cocoon. Come out of your cocoon, shine your light, spread your joy to others, because there's no better feeling. If you can make someone else smile and feel good about themselves, that's a reflection on yourself. Hummingbird medicine will change your life if you learn to live it and use it every day, every minute. Those blessings are there. You just need Hummingbird's help to may have you see them. Have a good day, everyone, and shine your light. It's there for you. All right, I'm done.
Go ahead, Peppy.
I want to hear Papa.
Oh, you want me to go next, or you want Dorinda?
Well, Dorinda already went.
You already went. What'd you say?
I said, shine, be positive, and be kind.
Ah, okay. I was watching my dogs spit spat, I think, when you said that before. They're talking to each other now. You know, I'd like to offer everyone this thought, okay? And this is another teaching that I was taught when I was real young. I like the stone people, the rocks, the crystals, and that sort of thing. I have an affinity to them. And I was told something that in later years took on a even more profound teaching. If you give someone a stone in the shape of a heart, it's telling them symbolically that you love them and that you'll never break their heart because it is as rigid as stone. Now, that is a gift that is put in the receiver's gathering basket. However, if the receiver already has a heart of stone that is beating within their chest, they will never be able to receive another's gift of a heart of stone because they are too rigid. They are too locked, too immobile in their own hardness. So you can give a heart of stone with one meaning and have or wear or become a heart of stone of another meaning. It's all in intent, isn't it? Comes to a 4-letter word, LOVE, the original word. So you take LOVE, keep it first and foremost, and you walk in beauty. You walk in beauty under you, above you, around you, in all places that carry that bubble of beauty with you. You are beauty moving. Those are my words.
Yep.
There you go.
Collect
when you-
happy moments.
When you collect happy moments like that, right, Heather? I know this from a science experiment. You put happy moments in there, and you think that jar is full, and then you pour in happy tears of joy, and see if it's even fuller. Is there any more space in there? Good lesson.
Yep.
Collect
Good lesson.
happy moments. It's a coloring book my daughter and I share. With everything that you guys have set and listened to with us today and learned with us today, I hope you will take into consideration just how wonderful you truly are. You are a wonderful, beautiful, brilliant soul wrapped up in a skin sack. I know that's not as poetic as it should be, but I want you to all try to live from that place. Go within and live from that place. And then when you look without, you'll see with eyes of wonder, and you will see so much beauty in our world. And just like a snowball, just like that snowball effect, it'll build, it'll get greater, it'll get bigger. So create what you want. You can.
Right.
That's all I have.
With the intent, anything's possible.
You got
all
there.
dance your little hearts out and hula away. You've all
That's
got
right.
wings. You've all got wings. Go fly.
I love you all. Thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you all for coming up here with me. I really love you.
Have a great day.
Love you, chat. Love you guys.
Love
See you tonight.
everybody in chat too. Bye.
Bye, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.
Love you,
Or
chat.
Bonnie's tonight.
Yep. Love y'all.